Itu kan. Hello.
Good evening, everyone.
Hello.
Hello, good evening, Rohan.
Yeah.
Good
Good
evening,
evening,
Mr.
Mr.
Chambers.
Chambers.
Good evening, dear.
How are you doing?
Are you referring to Rohan or is that?
We call Rohan Rohan since he is our age. His dad is Mr. Chambers.
Are you hearing me clearly?
Yes,
Yes,
yes.
absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely. Not a problem.
Can you turn your phone sideways? Can you turn your phone sideways?
Yeah, this is
perfect.
much better. Great.
Yeah. Yeah.
Great.
You're
So,
still unmute. Take off the mute. Yeah.
so I'll just give
You can
you a
hear us?
brief idea for the call.
Yes, I'm hearing, but I'm
Yeah.
unable to. Okay, go ahead.
You can see us?
Okay.
Yes,
Yes, absolutely.
but I'm being blocked. This meeting is being held on. Okay. All right. Yes. Okay. Good.
So all set, sir?
Yeah.
Great. So the idea is we'll talk about Sir Gary. I'm sure you must have had a lot of interaction with him. Probably, you can talk about your association, the way he played his innings, and whatever you remember about him. We have certain questions.
Sure. The first time I saw Sir Garfield Sobers, he was a 17-year-old.
Oh,
And
okay.
he came in to the test match in 1974, I think it was. Sir Alfred
54.
Valentine.
54, not 74. 54, right?
Sorry,
54.
54.
Yeah.
54, that's 74. Okay, yes. He came in as a replacement for Alfred Valentine, who was a left-arm spinner from my hometown. And he participated in a practice game at Shedwin Park, which is in my hometown. And I was about 12 at the time. And I was coming from a cricket practice. And then when we got to a Shell gas station, his father, Alfred Valentine, that his father, operated that gas station. And the players were now coming at the end of that day's play from Shedwin Park, heading to their hotel in Kingston. The vehicle stopped at this gas station. And at the back was Sir Garfield. The back at a window, he was at the window at the very back of the bus. And one of the attendants, guest attendants, said to us, there were about 12 of us coming from practice in our short pants. He said, there's Garfield Sobers. He's talking with Alfred Valentine. And we stood there admiring this young player at age 17 plus. The next time I saw Garfield Sobers, it was on the day that he surpassed Sir Leonard Hutton, highest score of 364. He got to 365. He started the day on Friday, at the end of the day's play on Friday, he was 219 or 228, not out. And he was batting with Conrad Hunt.
Conrad Hunt.
Yes, and they had a enormous partnership. But unfortunately, Conrad Hunt got run out. As a matter of fact, I was on a program yesterday, and a couple of the members of the panel, they expressed the view or hearsay view about how Conrad Hunt got run out, that Sobers deliberately causes run out. So I interjected and said, this was hearsay. This was hearsay. I was there. And I was clear on. It was a quick single, but Sobers, he had been batting from the day before. And there was absolutely no need to take a quick single. And he turned back 100 on. If he had continued, maybe Sobers would have been run out. And it's quite possible that
Record wouldn't have happened.
Pardon me?
If Sobers would have been run out, the record wouldn't have happened.
It's likely that he could have been run out. But through the years, I have seen him played in regional cricket. I was part of a squad, but I never was in an 11 representing any team that Garfield Sobers participated. But I have watched him through the years at test matches at Sabina Park, watch him on television, listen on the radio. But to me, he's the greatest cricketer ever to have played the game. His wide range of stroke play on either side of the wicket, he was always in command. He made the game look so simple when batting. Added to his bowling achievements, because remember when he started in his first test match, he was in the team to replace a left-arm spinner, Alfred Valentine. He was an orthodox. Sobers was an orthodox left-arm spinner.
At that time.
At that time. And he added to his unorthodoxy, to his unorthodox deliveries, the googly and the Chinaman. And then later on, he added to his bowling with his fast bowling.
Yes.
He moved the ball appreciably off the wicket and in the air. And I remember watching a test match at Sabina with Wesall and himself. And there were deliveries that were quicker than Wesall. And yet Wesall was extremely quick.
So, Mr. Chambers, I have a question here. You've seen him playing right from the age of 17, maybe, correct?
I think it lasted about 2 decades. He played
2 decades?
The last test match, I think, was in 74.
Yes.
Yeah. So throughout, you've seen him playing at Jamaica?
Pardon me?
Throughout, you have seen him in Jamaica?
Yeah, I've seen
Kingston.
him in Jamaica, yes.
Okay. And he, as you said, he started as a spin bowler, replacing Valentine.
Yes.
And gradually, he turned to be one of the greatest all-rounders in the game of cricket. So when he started as a bowler, I think first 15 or 16 tests he played as a bowler primarily. And then he was gradually promoted as a batter in the top order. And then that inning of 365, the momentous inning that came against Pakistan.
Yes, yes.
So why you think that shift happened? West Indies needed an all-rounder that time, or he was a better batter that time? What was it?
Well, there was also Collie Smith in the team. And Collie Smith at the time was very effective with his off spinners. So Garfield Sobers during the regional tournament would have shown that quick development as a batsman. And the selectors close to the scene would have watched it, and they took note because he batted Anton Kanai Houghton. Sobers could have batted 3 or 4. I'm not too sure if Everton Weeks batted before him at number 3, and then he came out. No, No, he batted at number 3. Weeks came in at number 4. I think Weeks got into the 30s, about 39, I think, if my memory serves me right. And Clyde Walcott came in at number 5.
He made 88.
He made 88. And when Sobers got to 365, I was sitting towards South Camp Road, that's the nursery. And I must say to you, the first time I went to Sabina Park was on that Saturday. I got up pretty early in the morning. My mother looked after a meal for me with a certain liquid, lemonade.
Yeah.
And when I got to the terminus where the bus would leave from my hometown in Spanish Town to Kingston, I was unsure, how am I going to get to Sabina Park? I know the transportation would stop at the terminus in Kingston, but it is some distance away. But I had only 4 shillings. And the fares, 1 shilling to Kingston, 1 shilling back, and 2 shillings to go into the bleachers.
Oh.
Now, there was a bus service at Parade where the bus from Spanish Town to Parade terminated. But I never had another shilling because it was about maybe 6 pence or possible shilling. But the money was limited. I couldn't afford to lose a shilling from the 4 shillings.
Okay.
Anyhow, when I got on the bus, I saw a friend, a family friend. His brother played for Jamaica. That brother's name is Leonard Mullins. He died a couple of years ago. And the one on the bus was Carol. And I asked him if he were going to Sabina Park. And he said, yes. I said, I don't know how to get there. He said that he knew how to get there because he was much older than I was. When Sobers surpassed Leonard's total of 364, the field was invaded. The fence from the field to where I was sitting was broken down, and the field was swarmed by hundreds of players, of spectators. And I stood my ground, sitting on the concrete seat under one of the lignum vitae trees. And when the crowd was dispersed, the game was never resumed on that day. The game resumed another day. I think there's a Sunday, and the Sunday might not have been a playing day, and the game was resumed on Monday. And I was there, left alone. All the spectators would have left, and the women who were cleaning up with a couple of men, I remember they were concerned that I was still there. I was wearing short pants. I said, young boy, aren't you leaving? So I said, I'm from Spanish Town, but I don't know how to get to Spanish Town. A couple of them said, can't help you. And it happened that my friend, he remembered that I was left at the ground, and he would have been about a quarter mile away at the intersection of 2 streets. You wouldn't know those streets, but one was Hanover and the other one was Charles Street. And when he returned and saw the tears coming down, tears, I wasn't crying, but the tears started to flow. And I'm thankful to him. It's possible if he had not come back, there wouldn't be me and there wouldn't be a Rohan Chambers. It's possible.
But that's where Leonard helped Leonard.
Yeah. But it was an occasion that to see the crowd being on the field, congratulating him, and they would not leave the field. You know, they have the public address system, asking the players, the spectators to leave, and they just would not leave. They were overwhelmed by the occasion. And, you know, Leonard, who had the highest test score ever, and to be overtaken by a West Indian, and at home in the Caribbean, it was something to be celebrated. And the spectators at Sabina Park showed how much it meant to the crowd. In those days, cricket was the #1 sport in Jamaica. Certainly was. You know, because as I said, I left early on that Saturday, and I got to Sabina Park at 5 o'clock, and shortly after, the gates were open, long lines. It's not like that today. I went to the test match against Australia last year, July, I think it was, and no crowd. No crowd. You know, you could just walk in at your own leisure. Don't be in a hurry to leave home to get there. You won't be alive.
So how did
days.
the Jamaica celebrate those 365? The Kingston,
Well, you know,
Jamaica, or the West Indies itself?
Well, in Jamaica, it started in the middle on the playing field, when they encroach on the ground and, you know, to touch Sir Garfield, and he ran to the pavilion. But the spectators would never move from the playing area. And because of that, the game was suspended for the last hour of that day's play. But I would imagine, I wasn't drinking at the time. I was about 12. So I would imagine in Kingston, in Spanish Town, and most of the cities in the parishes, the bars would have been left open until maybe the wee hours into Sunday morning. But it was a fantastic achievement, and I'm sure the other parts of the Caribbean, the fans, the community of cricket-loving fans would have celebrated, and so would be his native. And I should take this opportunity of expressing my condolences to his family members and the fans, the cricket community of his beloved country, Barbados. He has played a long innings. It's a pity that
knock, we must say.
Pardon me?
And the swashbuckling knock.
Okay, yeah.
It was a real big knock, I said.
Here, let me just interrupt. Rohan would agree that Mr. Chambers got into such a flow that we didn't get a chance to introduce him. So to all it was beautiful. It was so spontaneous coming from him. But now I would just interrupt, and to our viewers, I'll introduce Mr. Leonard Chambers. Leonard Chambers is a Jamaican first-class cricketer. He's played over a period of nearly a decade, from 1964-65 to 1974. He's managed quite a lot of youth tours for Jamaica and the West Indies to various nations, as well as he's been very active in cricket after leaving cricket. We had the pleasure of meeting him and his son Rohan a few months back. And we look forward to another meeting. That's what I told the father-son duo that day. And one more achievement of Leonard is he has sired Rohan Chambers, the Jamaica under-19 captain, who now lives in the US. He's a qualified umpire, and from his posts, I understand that he also examines umpires these days. So it's a delight to have this talk. It's a delight to meet virtually, though, after all these months. And so let's go ahead. And one more thing. Mr. Leonard Chambers is a very good author. I have been able to read only the parts of his books through the years, and it's a beautiful book. Sadly, it's not available in India as yet, but I've asked somebody from UK to get it for me and send it across. So shortly I'll be reading that. Over to you, Costo.
Could I interject for a moment? Rohan was named Rohan because of the great Rohan Kanai. The great Rohan Kanai.
And he was born before Rohan Gavaskar. So.
And I recall Rohan would have been about 4 to 5 years old. And I took him to Sabina Park, and there was a game there. I think All was in Jamaica. He had a contract to coach the Sugar Estate players. And I took Ron with me and I introduced him to Wesall. Let him know that his name was Ron. And his response was, why not Garfield? Both Garfield Sobers and Wesall are from Barbados.
Yes.
And he would prefer for Ron to be named Garfield. So I let him know that, I played against Rohan Kanai, and I had the opportunity of admiring his batting. Not that I did not admire Garfield Sobers' batting, but there was something special about Rohan Kanai. He was so orthodox. He improvised shots that going down on his bottom. I think he was the first of the batsmen to go down and play that shot. And he did it with ease, utmost ease.
He was the first of the Rishabh Pant clan.
Yeah.
Yeah.
In context
So,
for all.
can I just interrupt you over here? I mean, Mr. Chambers, you introduced Rohan, you told about his name and all. I would like to ask Rohan, you must have interacted with Sir Garfield Sobers. You must have had some memories of Mr. Sobers. That is first thing I would like to ask you. And also, after retirement, Sir Gary Sobers, he has helped a lot of West Indian kids to take up cricket. He helped them. He coached them. The names that I can think of is Brian Lara, Carl Hooper, Chandrapal. Although not everyone coming from the same island. What was special about him? Do you recall anything? Do you want to add anything over here?
All right. So the first time I saw him, I've only seen him twice in person that I can recall. Right.
Mm-hmm.
The first time would have been 1988 when we had under 19 cricket tournament in Barbados, and Jamaica was playing against the Leeward Islands, but I was on the bench. I was in the stands. Jamaica was fielding, and Rohan Kanai was the coach. So Sobers came to the ground to maybe watch a little bit of the match, but primarily just to chat to Rohan Kanai. So he walked by, and at the same time, a fielder failed to take a catch, and I heard him say, "That was a catch. That was a catch. You should be walking in." But then he went straight to talk to Kanai, and I've never seen him in person since then. But I would have read all the books that were at home, and his record of 8,032 runs. That was something I memorized inside out as a youngster because that record stood for a long while, right? 26 test centuries, right? 93 tests, 235 wickets. 365 not out, right? Those things, like a part of your DNA, right? You never forget those things. And I mean, just the fact that he could do everything, right? And then he also did it with style too, colors up. And back in those days, the open shirt, open all the buttons, pull all three, four buttons. Um, but he was also known to be someone who enjoyed life, coming in at odd hours of the morning. Um, and I was told that if he didn't get much sleep, he would perform, right? Um, but lots of stories about him I've heard over the years. The last time I saw him would have been 2 years ago at the T20 World Cup final where India defeated South Africa in Barbados
Barbados.
at Kingston Jamaica. And yeah, initially I was just in the stands watching the game, and a friend of mine who had played youth cricket with, he he was asked to come to the president's box. I think the president of the Barbados Association wanted him in the box for some reason, and he took me along. Um, it was coincidence that I wanted to see Sobers because I knew he was getting old, and this fella who was sitting beside happened to be called to the president's box. So I went along with him, and I saw him there right next to Wesall. So we spoke for a little bit, but he was about to leave, and I made sure I got a quick picture with him.
Yes, I
But
saw. I saw your
that was
picture. I saw your
right.
picture, and it would be great if you could show it to us. I mean, if you can share, and I'll add it to this particular video.
Yeah, I looked for it, but that was the second time I saw him. Um, and yeah, but just just hearing about him, his name, anywhere you go, I think he did help Sri Lanka with their cricket. I think in the early 80s he went there, so I
Right.
know the
Yeah.
Sri Lankans owe him a lot too for that development. But he has helped people all over, given advice all over. Um, yeah, just one of those people that cricket. When you talk about cricket, you talk about Sobers and can I back in the day, but Sobers was the man. So yeah,
Here, I would like to ask something to Mr. Chambers Senior. Uh, I'm taking the cue from "Why Not Garfield" by West Hall. That West Indies is known to have those rivalries between the nations constituting the West Indies. The Guyanese won't see eye to eye with Trinidad, Barbados, Jamaica, and all of them have their differences, essentially. However, the Bhajan Garfield Sobers' closest friend was a Jamaican called Collie Smith. How does this friendship blossom? It came to a premature end, sadly, but how did they get to become so close friends of each other? Was it the English cricket or was it from the start of their cricketing careers?
I would imagine. As a matter of fact, I've never seen Collie Smith play. Never. I saw him play in a football game. He represented Boystown, it's the local club in Kingston, and that club played against my club, Spanish Town Boystown. I was not on the team. I was just looking on. I was a little, much younger. But the friendship, obviously, listening to his brother, one of his brothers, Lyndon Wright, how close the friendship was that Sobers would visit Collie Smith's home. He would have lunch there and he would have dinner. So close he was to Collie Smith that he became a member of the family at the time. And the death of Collie Smith, Sobers was there with him in the car, and Tom Dudney, Jamaican. And I will always remember, it lingers on. When he was unconscious, and we had one radio station in Jamaica at the time, it was Radio Jamaica, and we got hourly bulletins. And I remember the members of my family, including one of my sisters and two nieces who are now living in England. They prayed, we all prayed, the entire Jamaica, because at that time cricket was the #1 sport. And people would listen to their radio, they're in the field, wherever. The farmers, the people who are in the offices, they would be tuned to their radio, hoping and praying that it would have survived. And we mourned for about 2 weeks. We all, I remember quite well. And we were saddened at his passing because he had so much to offer. I think he died, what, 27, 28?
27, 28. So yeah, I agree.
They're about.
Whereabouts?
And he had so much to offer. And at the time, a lot of people saw him as a future West Indies captain, possible a president of the Jamaica Cricket Association, and also the West Indies Cricket Board. He was loved. He was really loved. He was loved locally and internationally. And at the club level, listening to people who would have played with him and against him, he played the game the way we were taught how it is to be played as youngsters. And he built good relationships. He respected officialdom. The umpire's decision is always final. This is what I heard. And I have no doubt to disbelieve what I was told of Collie Smith. I would like to ask Rohan at this time if I'm sure Rohan would have been there. It could be 84 or 88, because Rohan could have been, you're about 12 at the time, Rohan, when you went to Barbados in 88, or 14? No, 12. Right? In 84. Yes.
No, I think you're on mute.
Sorry, yeah, I was 11, 84.
Yeah. And Garfield Sobers and Wesall address the 84 players plus the managers and the coaches, because each squad, we had 14 players, so 6, 4, 24, 84. Yes, most of them address the gathering. And I recall.
But I didn't remember that though.
No, you would have been there, because
yeah, but I don't remember. That's what I'm saying. I don't remember. Yeah, but I don't remember.
No, not at 12. Not at 12. You are now playing. If
that
it
was
was
88.
if it was 84, if it could have been 84 then, because you're that
84.
Because surely you would have remembered if it was 88. You would have remembered that.
Right, it's 84, yeah.
So you would have seen him. You would have seen him and listening, because you
remember. Yeah.
No, you might not have been there either. It's possible, because you joined the team after
the first match.
After the first match, yeah, you would not have seen him. Yes.
Yeah.
But going back to Collie Smith, today his name is being revered throughout the community of cricket in Jamaica. So he has impacted the lives of so many, especially the club that he was a member of. He is their standard bearer. They're always referring to Collie Smith, the individual that he was, not just on the playing fields, but off the playing fields.
Yeah, and I know there too. Sobers was always quoted as saying that after Collie Smith passed away, he felt like he had to play for two people, himself and Collie Smith, right? But I don't think Sobers played club cricket in Jamaica. But Frank Worrell, one of the three W's, when he was at university in Jamaica, he played for Boys Town, which is Collie Smith's club.
Oh.
And I think he did that purposefully because of Collie Smith, right? He probably could have played for any other club, right? But he chose to play for Boys Town to help that club, which is full of underprivileged. Well, it's not in the best of areas, but lots of underprivileged kids are from that area, and it was more of a good humanitarian gesture to play for that club. And I think they won Senior Cup under Frank Royal's
1960
leadership,
or
right?
61. Yeah, 1960 or
Yeah,
61. As a matter of fact,
yeah.
So
that team picture is
I have
that
this
team
book
picture
here
is
with me.
sorry.
I have this book here with me, and
Okay.
Oh, okay.
I got it in Melbourne, I think, and a
Hmm.
very fantastic book talking about Sir Gary. And
Hmm.
this is something I read about 10, 12 years ago, first time, or maybe more. I don't recollect. But this is something that helped me to know more about Sir Gary, his playing days, his playing career, he as a captain, uh, his six sixes. I'm sure you must have had good memories about that, Mr. Chambers.
Nash, I think the bowler
1968
was
it
Nash.
was.
I think the
Malcolm
bowler was
Nash,
Nash.
correct.
Not Malcolm Nash, yeah.
Yes,
Yeah.
Malcolm Nash.
Yeah.
And uh, I mean, that's another episode, that's another thing that must have been celebrated in the Caribbean because he was the first batter to do so in first class cricket. Any memories of those days?
I never heard what you just said.
I said,
Please
any
repeat.
memories of those six sixes? How you guys celebrated that?
Well, it was a unique achievement. He could have been the first player at the national level because it
Hmm.
was a county game, and and coming from the Caribbean to score and be so dominant to hit this. I think he was an off spinner. Malcolm Nash was an
Malcolm
off
Nash.
spinner, and he was bowling across.
Nash was basically a medium pace bowler, but
Yeah,
for
that
some
cuts the ball. Yeah, yeah. Yes, yes.
some reason
You
on
know,
that day he decided to bowl spin.
yes. But and Sobers was so masterful that each of the sixes that he scored, six sixes in the over, he was in full command, not just over the
Controlling the ball.
boundary, not just over the boundary, but well beyond. And
Loud over.
it was celebrated. It was celebrated. We're happy, at that achievement. And I would imagine in Barbados, the people at certain clubs would be going home way in the morning.
Yeah, I'm
I
sure
found the
it
picture. I
it
found the
was an
picture of
achievement.
Sobers.
Yeah, sorry.
While
I'll
we
just share the picture while you talk.
Yeah. Wow.
Oh yeah,
That's the picture that we are talking about.
Right. Yes.
wow.
He must
where
be
was
what,
that?
80, 86,
What?
So this
87 that time?
no, this is just 2 years ago.
No,
2 years
Sir
Right.
ago.
Gary
Okay,
must have been 97.
okay.
Yeah,
Yeah. So
Gary
this is
must
the
have been.
world. This is the T20 World Cup final at Barbados,
Okay.
Kingston Oval.
Those are lovely
Yeah.
So this is
smiles as wide
Nice.
as a mile.
yeah. This is in the president's box, and he was leaving. So
Okay.
I got picture before he left, and I think to his left is his there's a lady to his left. Not sure if it's his wife, but he was just walking out with her. So I made sure I got that on. Behind me is Wesall, but you can't see him in this picture.
Yeah, in that
Yeah, so
Okay.
that
And
frame, yeah.
Rohan Chambers supporting the Indian team.
Uh, yes,
Rohan
at
Chambers
that
and Gary
at,
Sobers supporting the Indian team. Man,
at that point, I mean, I had a South African shirt with me, but I think at this point, India was almost gonna win the match. I think at this point, so I put my Indian shirt on.
Lovely. Lovely. Lovely.
All right, I'll stop
So good to
sharing.
see this.
Yeah.
So, Mr. Chambers, at the end of this conversation, probably, I'm sure we would have a lot of things to talk about Sir Gary. But do you have any specific memory of Sir Gary, about his playing days, about his captaincy, apart from those that 365 and six sixes that we spoke about?
You're referring, is this directed at me or Rohan?
Yes, at you.
At me. Oh, okay. There's a test match, famous test match that we're playing against England. And Sir Garfield Sobers made a declaration that to most of the folks at the ground and those outside of the ground, especially in the Caribbean, tune into listening to the game, we were taken aback at the decision to declare. We felt that, we the fans at the time felt that there was no way we could bowl out the English team in the given time. The declaration was to their advantage. But over the years, I have realized that one of the reasons why he declared Basil Butcher, which is not used regularly
as a leg spinner
in the test, at the test level. He would bowl, he's a batsman who was an occasional bowler for the regional team, Guyana. He got 5 wickets. So, and Willie Rodriguez was the top leg spinner, or the top spinner in the team, and he bowls leg break. And with the performance of Butcher in that first innings, and then we had Charlie Griffiths, I think Lester King were in the team, and he was depending heavily that if the spinners are not able to contain, at least from one end, he would have Charlie Griffiths. Charlie Griffiths, for whatever reasons, it has been said, I don't know how true that is, that he was upset about the declaration, so he was unable to take the field. I have no evidence of that, but it has been said that he was faking whatever injury that he suggested that he was carrying. And that somewhat is a talking point about his captaincy. But as a captain at any level, and especially at the test level, you know, you're not just playing for the team, you're playing for your country. And decisions such as that one, and it never worked out, it somewhat had a black mark against his captaincy. But he was an attacking captain, and attacking captain take chances, you know, and they angle the card, so to speak, give the opportunity to the opposition to have a go, hoping that you will come out on top and you have a result, a definite result. But I have no worry about his captaincy, his vast experience, and he got the captaincy on the recommendation of his mentor, Sir Frank Worrell, because you will recall at the time, he was not the vice captain of the West Indies team. Conrad Hunt was the vice captain. And Conrad Hunt was overlooked, and the individual that Conrad Hunt was, you know, obviously deep down he must have been hurt, never showed it, and he continued to play and play successfully with the West Indies team. But Sobers, as I said, he was an attacking captain and he take his chances. So, you know, you want a definite result in your favor, but at the same time you risk the problem, you know, of losing, and that can come heavily against you by the critics.
Interesting. That's a very genuine and very good comment that he was a He was an attacking captain, and he always wanted to win. And you have to take the chances. That's for sure. I think
Yeah.
his career was all about the way he played. Might be his 365, his sixes. He could bowl all type of bowling, spin, fast, everything. And he was one of the greatest all-rounders of the world. And still, I mean, after so many years of his retirement, nearly 60 years now, 50, 60 years,
Mm.
we still talk about him. We still consider him to be the greatest, I would say, the cricketer, not just the all-rounder, to have played cricket. Definitely from the Caribbeans, but the way he uh, played and the way he succeeded, that is something that we must, or we all respect that. Uh, Definitely, his death was a loss to cricketing community, and everyone in cricketing community from different nations. We would like to say thank you to Sir Gary Sobers for whatever he did in cricket. I think that's the memories of the great man that we will keep with us. Ron, anything you would like to add?
Um, no, just to re reiterate what you just said. I'm in a chat group with quite a few folks from Barbados. So I'm always seeing some of these clips and so on. With how they're celebrating or remembering him in Barbados. They have a company called the Legends of Barbados, Cricket Legends of Barbados. It's an official company and they have a museum. But all the former Test cricketers there, they're part of this company, and they always talk about the game, give talks to schools and so on. And they were laying a wreath by his statue at Kingston Oval a couple of days ago. So you had people like Philo Wallace, Tino Bess, Pedro Collins, Courtney Brown, Joel Garner, and Wesall
Oh,
was also there too. And
Yes.
Wesall is now in a wheelchair, right?
We did.
And those guys lifted him up and took him towards the statue to make sure he was able to lay his wreath, right? So lots of stories. I mean, obviously, there's also the Sir Garfield Sobers schoolboy tournament that started about 1987. We have schoolboys from all age groups, or sorry, but maybe 86, or it could
Brian
be
Lara
85.
talks about it a lot.
Right. So that's where Sobers first saw Lara and commented that he's gonna be one that will be playing for West Indies eventually. But so he has this tournament there, and you have lots of teams from overseas, not just the Caribbean, that go there every year and play in that tournament. So he's like in again the DNA and the fabric. He's the national hero of Barbados, right?
he is,
So
he is.
you can't talk about cricket without talking about Sobers in Barbados, right? So he'll be truly missed there, and yeah, everyone, and not just on the field too. Is what he did off the field, whether it's golf or just talking and giving talks to people. Is the gentleman he was, right? So he'll surely be missed in Barbados and the Caribbean and the world.
Well, it's
Um,
it's very important that you mention the right qualities of him off the field. Something
right.
else is very much talked about, and I really don't like that thing. Sobers, the player, was much greater than those things.
Yeah.
Yeah.
If I may, I'll just add
Yeah.
to what Ron said earlier on about how people admire his style of batting and want to be like Sobers. But let's not forget the way he walks.
Ah,
The way he walked with that lean colors up, as Ron said, but the way he walked. And I remember Solkar, a
Hmm.
left arm medium pace of the board spin.
yes.
He tried to walk like Sobers. Colors up. I watched him at Sabina Park in a test match. Colors
Yes.
up. And the way he walk is so unique. And so many, especially if they are left-handers. I don't think Rohan tried to walk like him, but because Rohan, much younger. But at that time, when Sobers was back playing, he was so admired for the way he walks. So most left-handers would tend to walk. Even me tried to walk like that, and I'm a right-hander. Yes, he was a great.
That was an aura of the great man, I think.
Yeah, he was great. He certainly was great.
He
And
was great.
Ron said, he will be missed. He will be missed immensely, especially from his own country, Barbados.
I'm sure. I'm sure.
We
And
in
not
India,
only Barbados, he will be missed everywhere.
Yeah, the worldwide, no doubt about that. No doubt.
He'll be missed everywhere. And I would like to take this opportunity to thank both of you, senior and junior Mr. Chambers, to come to this podcast and talk to us about the great man, sharing your memories and talk about a little bit about the West Indies cricket, the famous 365 and famous six sixes, the celebrations. Mr. Chambers, it's an it's an opportunity once in your life to see such a great inning. I'm sure you must be feeling very happy,
Yes.
and I feel honored that I know you.
Yeah. Yes,
It's a great
was
pleasure.
it was a lovely experience watching him on that day
Sure.
when he created the record.
I'm sure. I'm sure. That's something that Sir Gary Sobers will always be remembered for. He'll always be remembered for that 365. He'll always be remembered for those six sixes. There are a lot of other things that happened in his life, but let's stop at this point and memorize those two beautiful innings. Uh, and we thank you for taking us or walking us through those particular innings. Talk about those innings, and that this is something unique for us, and it's a great experience. So I thank you, Mr. Chambers, for coming, to this show, and thanks, Rohan, to you too,
and
for
we look
connecting
forward
to
to
your
being on
father
your
and
next India trip.
talking about your memories as well.
Thanks for the
Right.
invitation.
Mhm.
It was my pleasure.
And when are you coming back to India? We are waiting for it.
We are waiting.
Okay, you never
Soon.
know. You never know.
Lovely.
You never know, Sanjeev. He will be here next day, maybe next week.
Could be. So it's lovely
All right,
talking
then.
to you as always.
and it was great. It was great being there in Mumbai. When we met, I'm a show off. When I have to show off journalists, especially cricket journalists, and so many of my friends got the picture. When we were coming out of the Vinamankad gate.
Vinamankad Gate, yeah.
A lovely picture. That's lovely, and we had lunch together. It was great. It was great.
It was great morning, no doubt.
And thanks to Rohan, who was making his fourth visit to India to take me on my first visit to in Mumbai, where my great grandmother was born. So thanks to Rohan. Yeah.
So you are very much of our own. The Chambers are.
Yes.
So thanks to Rohan for arranging everything. And it's a great pleasure to talk to you guys.
Okay.
No
You're
problem.
welcome.
Take care. Thank you.
Thank you.
Hey,
Good
thanks
evening.
a lot.
Thank you very much.
Okay then.
Pleasure.
Bye. It's a pleasure.